Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Aaron here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to test your Facebook creative for your clothing brand. Make sure that you stick around to the end because I'm going to be giving you 2 campaigns that you need to have set up to run your Facebook ads effectively. All right, so number 1 is to make sure that you're constantly testing different types of creative. So we're gonna be jumping into Facebook Ads Manager, and I'm gonna be showing you the inside of what these ads should look like, but you need to be testing new ideas. All right, so this isn't to scare you, but the moment that you get stuck into a rut with similar creative is the moment that your ad performance will start to drop. All right, so what do I mean? I mean the images, cinemagraphs, videos, animations, TikTok-ish style videos. Is that even a thing? I don't know. But if not, you know what I mean. Those are the keys to standing out as a creative. All right, so before we jump into number 2, hold on one second. I just want to say hello, especially to everybody new. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we've been helping frustrated store owners, just like you, since 2015 become impactful store owners through tutorials, tactics, and strategies. I don't know. Those 3 things. And if you have found any value in this video so far, or at any point during the video, please make sure that you consider subscribing and turning on notifications. It's what helps us grow our channel and create more content like this for you. Thank you in advance. Alrighty. All right, so number 2 is to make sure that your campaign is set up to optimize correctly. There are actually a lot of factors here, but in short, you want your audience sizes to be similar. The reason why is because if one audience is much bigger than the other Facebook audience, we'll give it a lot more money, and what will happen is you never really are able to test because it's just gonna give all the budget over here, never give any budget down here. Now, it is possible to make that work. I'm actually gonna show you inside here that it is possible, but it takes a lot longer and it costs more money for Facebook to learn. But just know that Facebook does eventually learn. It is a very smart machine learning platform, so it will eventually learn. It's just gonna cost you a lot more dollars to do. Okay, so number 3 is to only test one category at a time. What I mean by this is if you try to test new arrivals and on sale items together, so you're doing a sale over here and you're doing new arrivals over here, you're never gonna be able to get a good test because Facebook will find the creative that performs the best. So you're gonna have creative that's specific over here for new arrivals, creative that's specific over here for the sale, and it's gonna give the budget to one of them, right? So if you have the audience size is different, so you have this big audience over here, and then the big audience is going towards, let's just say the new arrivals, then the smaller budget or the smaller audience never really goes towards the sale. You're never gonna be able to test them. So choosing one creative category is also super important so that you can actually do testing correctly. And most people do this wrong. Plus, as you're gonna see here when we jump into Ads Manager, the copy wouldn't really match the creative. Now, that doesn't matter as much. I'll get into percentages here in a second as far as how much the creative copy or how much the copy actually matters versus the creative, but it would definitely throw off a potential customer who says, check out our new arrivals when it's got a sale over here, and then you have the sale items that say that they're new arrivals. It doesn't really make too much sense, so you kind of confuse the potential customer. All right, so now if y'all are really wondering how to set up dynamic creative ads, then you must check out this video right here because this is where I'm gonna break down exactly what you should be doing to set up the ads. Just pause this video, open up another tab, don't leave this video, go watch this and come back. The reason why is because this is more ethos, this is more how to test the creative, right? This is step 2, but if you haven't finished step 1 of setting it up, go check out that video right there. Like I said, open up the new tab, pull out your notes, get that all done, and then come back and watch this video. All right, so number 4, let's jump into Ads Manager here. I'm gonna walk you through, this is the last 7 days live. This is real inside of a real account, and that is to use the breakdown tool, right? So that's the tip, number 4, use the breakdown tool. So let's jump over here to prospecting. So this is your top of funnel, going after new audiences. We'll get into the audiences in a second, but I do wanna go to the ads. So looking at the ads that are running, over here on the right-hand side, you're gonna see a button that says Dynamic Creative Element. This button may not work for you right now. Since the iOS 14 update, we saw it go away for a few months. It has come back. So it's gonna always come back. It's just, who knows, it may not be available right away right now. So Let's look here. So in order of importance, number one, creative. This is 70% of what's going to make it effective. So I want to know which image, and you can see here, this is like behind the scenes, I guess, of what I'm looking at to see what actually works. So I'm looking at the images, which images have done well, which videos have done well, which graphics. So this particular one right here has 8 purchases. It has a cost per result of $38, okay? So has the most amount of purchases. Facebook has given it the most amount of data, but what I really care about too is total amount of return on, which this is a drop down I have here. So you want to make sure that it has, you can at least pull up your return on ad spend. This is important. Let's see here if we can scroll. So it's also made almost 2 times its money, right? So comparatively, not too bad. So that image did well. You can check out this image right here. Cool background. I guess people like this particular image, so we'll know that for the future. Again, this is only pulling 7 days. Let's make it the last 30 days. Let's see what this does here to give you a little bit more data. 167 purchases. So, and sometimes it's a little wonky where it may not tell you in order. But this particular image had 25 purchases. This one had 28. So this one that we talked about the last 7 days has done really well. I believe there's a video. Yeah, so this particular video had 9 purchases for $30. This one right here, this image did really, really well. 48 purchases, $23, much lower than our cost per purchase. So the numbers that you want to figure out are, okay, how much does this cost? How much am I making from it? And more so, what does it cost to acquire the customer, right? So let's just say, if it cost me $30, for us, $33 purchase is great, especially for the cost of ads right now, and especially since we know our lifetime value and we know what our returning customer rate is. So those are some other factors to think about. But what I'm talking about is specifically which creative to test and which creative to pull in and pull out. That's the big thing. But the dynamic breakdown, use your images. You'll find out which numbers to pay attention to, which is total purchases, total return on ad spend, and more importantly, the add to cart. You look at those numbers, and if they are obviously not getting spend, or they're not getting the add to carts, they're not getting purchases, you probably want to replace them as well. So that's the image side. The other thing that you want to know about is the text and the headline. So if I said 70% of what matters for dynamic creative is the image or video or let's say animation, that's 70%. 20% is the headline. So if somebody stops the scroll on Facebook because they see the image or the video, then they read the headline, then they read the description. So 20% matters on the headline, and about 10% matters for the description. So right here, we would just go down to headline, and as you can see here, so this one right here, I mean, we got some solid ones that are working right now for the new arrivals. The last 5, you can do 5 basically. And it's kind of hard to pick. I think we've already tested and have found the ones that have worked, so we're just kind of running with them right now. So this is like New Arrivals Weekly, has 35 purchases. You can see the rest of them have 34, 34, 33, 31. So nothing that I would even change out yet, because it's just literally, we've fine-tuned it and have changed them out over time, so we know that this text works. So it's not probably the best example, but ones that aren't getting the purchases, you can change those out. We'll talk about specific how you change them out and how much you should and should not do at a time here in a second. But those are doing pretty well. Even here, this one's 20, the other one's 10. Depending on budget spend, I'd probably change this one out here, see what's new in store. Sizzling summer staples. So this is the last 30 days. This headline, I believe, is taken out. Actually, both of these ad sets are off. Okay, good. I was like, hopefully we're not doing anything for summer right now. But so those were taken out, and that's why there's very few purchases on that. All right, so new arrivals, as you can see there, headlines are doing well. Next thing is to go to the breakdown and look at the text, or this is the description. Which one works? So this one, clear winner here. You can see, I'll just read it to you because I think it's probably helpful. So it says, the wait is officially over. Our newest arrivals are live on the website. You could use this exact same thing if you have a clothing branded boutique. Just steal that line. It absolutely could work for you. This thing here, new arrival alert, shop these before they're gone. But the difference here, 52 purchases versus 37. These bottom two, probably would change those out. Shop our newest styles, don't miss out. those are ones that don't really spark emotion, so they're not getting very many purchases, and they still are getting volume. So we do know right here that this is probably not gonna be the best text for you. All right, so a quick tip for you. I mentioned earlier, make sure that you don't change out more than 2 or 3 elements at a time. And then elements mean either a photo, a headline, or description, because Facebook has to go into learning every time that you make these types of changes. Now, it learns pretty quickly, but you do more than 2 to 3 changes, it takes longer, costs rise. It really just, it throws it for a loop, right? I don't know exactly why. I don't know why 2 to 3 things work, but that's what we do. We run it for 7 days, and then we change things out 2 to 3 different ones per campaign, right? So different campaigns doesn't matter, but in this campaign, we don't change it out more than 2 to 3 changes per week. So if you do that and you change a lot of things, you're just gonna throw everything back into learning and waste a lot of time. But wait, there's more. Before we get into the last part here with this campaign setup, I want to tell you about our free masterclass training that will walk you through the 5 pillars that need to be in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what's going on in the world. Whether we only can shop online, whether the cost of ads are expensive, whether or not you have tons of competition, does not matter. If you do these 5 things correctly, you will have a scalable business. So if you want to watch this free training, it's less than 20 minutes. Just check out the description below. All right, so number 5, and the moment that you've been waiting for, this is a quick, simple, and easy way to set up your ad account. So this is exactly what you need to have in your Facebook ad account for success. No matter where you're at in your business, doesn't matter if you're starting out at 0 or if you're starting out at $20,000 a day. Doesn't matter at all. These are the only 2 campaigns that you need to have, or the baseline for them. So let's take a look here. And as you can see, so her campaigns, we have more than 2 set up, but there's not many, right? So kind of the baseline here is like, you really don't want much more than 4, 5 max. I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5. We do have 1 campaign here. It's a page post engagement. It's kind of like an ancillary one. We really don't necessarily need that. It's spending a couple dollars a day. So technically I have like 4 campaigns going. So the only 2 that you need though are top of the funnel prospecting, getting new customers, and the second campaign, which is testing. There is a bottom of the funnel that we do well, and you know, as you can see here, our cost per for bottom of the funnel is still pretty high, but you could get by on just doing these 2 campaigns. So top of the funnel prospecting, the audiences that work well for us and then what I set up for you is broad. So this is age, gender, location. As you can see here, I'm not trying to tell you that it's anything but that, right? The audience size is 120 million people. And it is broken down between location, United States, women who are 25 to 65 plus, that's it. We do manual placements, you can see those here. We do take off the apps and sites, don't really care for those as far as conversion. And we do 1 day after click. Not gonna go into a long tangent on why we choose 1 day after click, but really that's what everything should be set up off of. 1 day click allows you to accurately attribute where the sales came from, if it came from Facebook or email or anything else. So make sure that it's set up as 1 day click. So that's easy, that's it. That's really the setup for broad. It's so simple. You're like, how does that work? It works because Facebook is extremely smart. So Facebook is gonna find your audience based off creative, and it's gonna take some time, right? It will take, maybe it takes you 30 days, maybe it takes you 45 days, but that's why you throw in this 10% of lookalike. Now, if you don't have a 10% of past purchasers, you just start out with broad, and you do another broad of some interests. So I do broad and then interest of your type of audience. Maybe if it's, again, a clothing brand, it would be one of the bigger clothing brands out there. People may be interested in Neiman Marcus. If you're another boutique, maybe you're interested in Pink Lily or boutiques. You can put those in there. Now, one thing I did mention earlier, and something to note, is that this audience size is 20 million. So literally about 70 million, 80 million person difference. It took a long time for Facebook to learn which one of these is going to be performing the best. But as you can see here, the last 30 days, the 10% actually costs a little bit more than just going completely broad. But if we look, let's just say lifetime, they're pretty similar. It's about an $8, $9 difference with which one's getting the purchases. So you just want Facebook to choose between the 2 of them, because this campaign is going to be set up as a campaign budget optimization. So what it means is that it's gonna take that budget and distribute between 2 different ad sets or 2 different audiences. If you only have one audience, it's never gonna really go into like choosing between the best one for you because it only has one option. You need to give it at least 2. Now, the inside of here, the 10% of lookalike, we pulled down the customer list from Shopify. We found out what their average order value was. We increased so their average order value was like maybe 60. And we said, okay, do we have enough purchases where we have at least 1,000? And we'll download that list. And anybody who purchased $75 or more, we downloaded that high quality list, uploaded it to Facebook, created a lookalike audience from that. If you don't know how to do that, there is a video out there that we have on how to create lookalike audiences. Link that up right here. And what you do there is we created as large as we could. So we wanted it super broad of a high quality audience and made it 10%. So 10% audience here of our customers who have spent $75 or more, same location, age, gender, and then left everything else as placements. And that's it. And you just saw the creative side of things. That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, the only other campaign that you need, and you can duplicate this, is to take that exact same campaign, run it to broad, right? So we have it as broad, and we need to get another ad set in here actually. Run it to broad, and then the testing campaign just allows you to test the new creative, right? So in our previous example, we tested new arrivals, and then we also tested sales. That's what you would test here, right? So if new arrivals is doing well, in this test campaign, I would try sales, or for this particular one, we're testing fall. How is it doing right now? If it beats the cost per purchase, so we go out here and we say, okay, testing is $22 per purchase versus top of the funnel prospecting. We just started that one, I believe. So last 7 days, it's $58 per purchase. So not really there yet. Last 14 days, $71. So our previous testing was doing a little bit better, but this says $22 per purchase. This one right here, the prospecting campaign, is $37. So I could probably take elements from testing and move them to prospecting. And that's all you're doing. This is our baseline. How can we improve it? What is our baseline? How can we improve it? And just getting incrementally better. And that's why you only need the prospecting campaign to acquire new customers and a testing campaign to see if the creative is gonna work, and then move that back to the top of the funnel. So if you have any questions about this, I know it's a lot of information. I know there's a lot in here. Hopefully I showed a lot behind the scenes. We're gonna make sure that we block out a lot of these numbers here, but you should be able to see exactly what's going on here. All right, so if you like this video, you're going to love the video I mentioned earlier about using Facebook ads for your clothing brand. Make sure you click this video and watch that one next, guys. All right, so that is all we have for this week. We'll see you in the next video.